Welcome back to the channel, people of the verse. I am your host, the Eradicator, and when it comes to destruction, I want to believe that I am your reference here in the verse, which is why today we chose the Aegis Day and the Anvil Day to have a little video about the expo. We're going to talk about quite a couple of ships, and I will talk about especially the F8 Lighting and why people are excited about it. So here we go, let's get to the expo right now. This is an Anvil Aerospace F8 Lighting, and it is maybe the most powerful ship in the verse right now, so much so that it is actually being used right now as the staple of the military. And why is that? Simply because of its very impressive arsenal, with two size 4 M6X laser autocannons, two size 3 M5A laser autocannons as well, and two size 3 CF337 Panther laser repeater. And these are just the weapons available for the main pilot, but the gunner is also going to have some fantastic weapons here with a pair of size 3 M5A laser autocannons as well as a couple of missiles as well. How about power plants? Well, it's gonna have a 1 size 2 Maelstrom, which is definitely going to be able to power all of that large arsenal. Two size 1 polar coolers, which probably are going to overheat quite quickly. These probably need to be upgraded, and 4 size 1 shield generators, which is definitely going to also bring some extra protection for the pilot. Remember that this is not a gunboat like, for example, the Constellation. It is just a fighter, a heavy fighter, but a fighter nevertheless, so that is definitely some impressive equipment. But there's only one catch here: you're just not allowed to fly it. It's just not flyable right now. It is reserved for the Navy, and only if you'll be able to finish your service for the military will you be able to fly the F8 Lighting. So that is going to be a privilege that is not going to be accessible to everyone out there. So how do you get access to such firepower then if the F8 is not available for mere peasants such as myself and perhaps you too, right? Well, one of the alternatives here could be the Anvil A4A Hurricane, which also features 6 very impressive guns. Now, the problem is that the pilot does not have access to all of them. In fact, the pilot only has access to 2 size 3 guns, and these are scout guns, so these are going to have quite a limited range. Now, the big guns out there are in fact only at the hands of the gunner, who is going to sit at the turret there, and he's going to have access to a very impressive quadruple size 3 series 11 series broadside ballistic autocannons, which of course can be upgraded to any other type of turret. I would really much like to see how those are going to look like if these are replaced by, let's say, for example, neutron repeaters. It's probably going to make quite a lot of damage. Now, the problem with the Hurricane is that it is often referred to as a glass cannon. And why is that? Well, that's because it only has 2 size 1 shield generators compared to the quadruple size 1 shield generators of the Anvil F8. The power plant is even weaker as well, and there's only 1 instead of 2. At least it does have 2 coolers, but that's not going to be a lot if you have to cool down 6 weapons that may be firing at the same time. Anyway, I have rented an Anvil Hurricane, and I will be able to try in the future to fly it in combat conditions with a gunner, so we'll just see how good it is. Now, in this video, the real deal here is probably going to be the Saber, and I'll tell you why. Behold, the mighty Aegis Saber, which is said to be the fighter of choice for most PvP dogfighters out there in the verse, and it's easy to see why on paper. It's got 4 size 3 CF337 Panther laser repeaters, and its avionics and systems are also quite impressive, with a triple size 1 shields, the shimmer here, 2 size 1 coolers, and 2 size 1 power plants that should be able to take care of all of the ship's very impressive arsenal and equipment. Now, let's see how this thing performs here in the verse, because, well, it's probably going to be quite very useful to first leave out of atmosphere and get straight into combat. Look at all the speeds here that we are taking. It is a very fast and maneuverable ship in atmosphere thanks to its aerodynamic. It definitely looks very much like a plane, more like a plane compared to a starship, which definitely helps in any kind of situation, not just in space, but in atmosphere as well. But eventually we'll have to take a mission and just see how good it is in actual combat, which is its terrain of predilection, of course. Alright, so here we are here on our way to the Comore around Macrotech. A very short trip for sure, but a trip full of danger. So let's see how this ship does handle danger. After all, it is a space superiority fighter. It is made for that. So we're going to have to look for the little probes that are transmitting data that should not be transmitted. It looks like there's one here that was detected by the ship's radar at about 7 kilometers, so we'll be heading there at about 300 meters per second should be good enough. It is very nice to see how quickly this ship decelerates. Not every ship can decelerate that fast, which shows that it does have some quite powerful retro thrusters as well, which is another feature that is very useful in combat if you want to have extra maneuverability and get the ship exactly at the position that you want. Now you can see here the quadruple laser repeaters doing their job against that there we go, against that probe that just got destroyed here. This magnificent firework. Now this is where the fun should start to begin, because as soon as we start destroying the first probe, this is where some hostiles are going to enter the fray. Looks like there is going to be another probe this way at about 12 kilometers, but probably we are going to see as well a couple of buggies, and we'll see if this ship here is as good as people say. So we'll try to take down a couple of them. There is a Cutlass Black that is dead ahead. Let's see if we have any other opposition force. It doesn't seem like it so far, so we'll get toward it here. A safe speed for this ship is about 186 meters per second. Let's try to get a little bit faster. Looks like we are already being targeted. That Cutlass is firing some distortion guns. There's also a Buccaneer, which is going to be a nuisance, and the probe here is also just a little bit above me. With that triple shield, I'll take my chances and try to destroy the monitor before taking care of those two hostiles, which are probably going to multiply by the time the probe is destroyed. There we go. That was really quick. And now let's see if it is going to be as quick if we take down those hostiles as well. So there we go, targeting here that Buccaneer. That Buccaneer is already in trouble. Looks like a wing has already come off. It has flown out of control, and it's just going to be a piece of cake until it gets destroyed. Oh, looks like I'm also having some issues here. What is going on? I'm totally spinning out of control. This is definitely not the way it's supposed to be. Of course, the hostiles are also seizing the opportunity to shoot at the ship. It does appear like the power unit overheated, and as a result, the ship completely is completely spinning out of control. There is absolutely nothing I can do here. Oh, if I get inside the cockpit, I am blacking out. Things are not really looking good for me. This is not what I had expected. Alright, after 2 minutes, I finally realized that the power unit was only working at 0.31% of its entire capacity, so this is not this is not how it's supposed to be working. And I didn't touch anything, I didn't do it, so it did that automatically. I suppose that this is a bug probably, but as soon as I put the power unit back online, everything started to be working quite alright. Unfortunately, I've lost the mission. You can see the objective has failed, and as soon as the objective failed here, it appears that that specific NPC in the Cutlass decided to become idle and do nothing. So it became quite a piece of cake to dispose of him. Boom, there we go. That was a nice explosion. There's another one here in a Buccaneer. That's the Buccaneer that was spinning out of control earlier. Looks like it is still spinning out of control. We'll be finishing the job very quickly. Let's do this here. Those are, of course, fixed guns, and well, that was target eliminated, but that is very frustrating for sure. I wished that I had been able to do this mission without such an issue, so that's alright. We'll be taking another one, and hopefully that next mission is going to be a little bit better. It looks like there is an 890 jump in distress, so we'll be going towards that 890 jump, and we'll be taking down the two Cutlasses that are harassing that beautiful ship. on the way to the 8-net jump, and we're going to get straight into the fray as we are accelerating here. There should be some hostiles around it. We've already got a contact, that is the 8-net jump itself, and there is our very first hostiles. These are the two cutlasses that are predictably around it. So let's see, this is another 2-on-1 situation, and we're going to see just how good the Saber is capable of handling such situations. There it looks like we are being targeted by missiles, not a problem at all. In fact, they're not even shooting their missiles, they're shooting their distortion guns. That's not an issue. Hopefully the ship is not going to get out of power, and I'll be able to take down those cutlasses the way that this ship is supposed to intend. And we are already taking down the shields. That cutlass here is in terrible shape. It looks like it will be destroyed very soon. Target destroyed. Looks like this is going to be only the last cutlass and myself with a nice little joust. It is dead ahead, again bringing all the firepower this ship has. And what happened? Oh my goodness. Now this is very strange, because if you look at the footage, I clearly did not crash into that cutlass. In fact, it went above me, but for some reason my Saber decided to explode out there with no reason, and my shields were on, so that's what I don't understand. But you know what, guys, I guess that this is maybe the reason why people are eagerly waiting for the F8 Lighting, because, well, if you have a Hurricane, well, you're gonna need to have a gunner, and if you have a Saber, well, it looks like that ship is definitely broken and needs some serious attention from the devs. So maybe people who are into heavy starfighters are desperately waiting for maybe the Messiah. Let's just call it that way. That's all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. A big shout out to Chris A for becoming my latest Patreon member, and also Mojo for upgrading his page. You guys who support this channel really help keep the lights going, so a big, again, shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for the support. This is the Eradicator. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later. This video is brought to you by the people who support this channel on Patreon and via the join button as well. Supporters of the channel get access to lots of cool perks, such as access to my private Discord, your question answered in the show, you get to know when I'm going to play, and also you get to have a chance to influence the editorial line of the channel. Any help is appreciated, starts at just $1 a month. Thank you very much for watching. This is the Eradicator, and I'll see you guys later.